Okay, hi, my name is Kenton Jermaine, and so basically today I want to talk about basically trusting in God. With a kin, like the main verse I'll be focused on is Proverbs 3 verse 5. But before I do that, I want to pray first. So dear God, I thank you for um, bringing us here today and able to read and spread your word, Lord. Lord, I pray that you're just able to speak through me and able to help me say the right things and say everything that you want me to so that people can understand your love and want to start to grow want to start to have and grow a relationship with you, Lord. Lord, I just pray that you're here and you're able to just protect us in everything that we do and everything that we go through, Lord, and that you're always there for us and that we're able to rely on you. Amen. Okay, so yeah, basically, I want to talk about trusting in God and Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6, and specifically. And it reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Okay, so basically, what does this mean? What does this verse mean? So basically, it's talking about basically trusting in God, and like even when like the circumstances and the things like your circumstances and what you think doesn't make sense, that because that's your own understanding of like you, this is how you understand the situation to be, and this is how you yourself would like go like tackle this problem or challenge or trial or whatever. It's like you have to lean not on that, but instead trust in God and lean on what he's telling you to do. So basically, just like say you're like doing like okay, yeah, so say like you're doing like a math problem or something like that, and no, I'm not gonna do that. I have an example here, right? So say you're having a big exam coming up, right? And so basically, instead of just like, and it's like coming in soon and everything, instead of just being like, oh, I'm so scared about the test, you're gonna like, relax, have peace, be like, okay, I got this, and I'm gonna trust in God, and he's gonna help me be able to do this test. No matter what, maybe you didn't even study, even though you should, you didn't even study, you didn't do all that, but you still trust in him, and you're leaning on the fact that he's able to provide for you and help you and everything. And that no matter what, he has the best in mind for you because, he loves you and everything. But this has been seen, like some examples of this has been seen in the Bible. And sorry, I don't know how to do this. And some examples of this is, for example, when Noah's building the ark in Genesis chapters 6 to 9 and everything. And so God told Noah to build an ark because he was going to wipe the earth because it had gone corrupt, because there was a lot of the people just had evil in their hearts and everything. And so they just were not really, doing what God wanted them. He weren't living in like a peaceful way and everything. They had too much evil in their hearts, and like God did not like that. There was too much wickedness on the earth and everything. So he told Noah that he was gonna wipe the earth and that he needed to build an ark, and him and his family and two of like every pair of animals would go on, clean animal would go on to the ark, and then they would all be saved. And then 40 days and 40 nights, he would send water, the floodgates of heaven would open and water would come through, like down, rain onto the earth. And then like water would burst from the ground as well, from like I think it said springs. And so the earth would have been flooded. And when I was preparing for this and I was like taking the notes and everything, I saw that it was actually interesting to me because he said that right here, 7 days from now, I'll send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I'll wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. And so, yeah, it's just like Noah was 600 years old when the flood came on the earth and everything. And that's crazy to me that God came to him, Noah just living his life and everything. God comes over to him as he's 600 years old, almost 600 years old, because Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters came on there. So he was either 600 years old or almost 600 years old. And so basically God comes over to him and he's like, you're going to have to build an ark for you and your family because and animals, and because I'm going to wipe the earth of like all the evil stuff and everything. And he said, you have 7 days to do it. He literally said 7 days from now, he's going to do that. And that was like the crazy part to me. And Noah, when Noah heard this, he just got straight to work. He got his sons, he got everything ready. They started building, started working on the huge, massive ark that would, save all of them and the animals and everything like that. And it was just Noah having faith in God and trusting in what he was saying. Because he could have just could have just thought, oh, this is something random, or just not listen to God, and then he would have been wiped out too, and his family. But he decided to trust in God and lean on not his understanding but God's, because like the idea of like wiping the whole entire earth is just honestly crazy and everything. And so Noah, trusted in God and his word and what God told him to do. He didn't just say, oh, wiping out the whole earth, that's crazy, that's never going to happen. No, he trusted in what God was telling him, and he actually did it. And then he built the ark, and then, we all know what happened after that. So then after that, another example would be in Exodus chapter 14, when Moses parted the Red Sea and everything, when they were trying to escape from Pharaoh and his guards and everything. And so what had happened was, right, Moses has a brother named Aaron. And so when they were escaping, Moses said, let's go this way. But Aaron's like, no, let's not go that way, because there's just the Red Sea and everything. We're just going to be like blocked off. We won't be able to like go forward because we don't have the ships and everything. We're going to need so many ships for all of these Israelites that are coming with us and everything. And Moses is like, no, God is telling us to go this way. Let's go this way. And they went that way. And then lo and behold, Aaron was white. Aaron was right. There was the Red Sea and everything. And so the Israelites are all with Moses and everything, and everyone's like saying that, oh my gosh, why are we here? We're gonna get caught. There's only water here. We don't have enough boats for us and everything. And then Pharaoh comes behind them. So now not only is the water in front of them, and they have no boats to go across, and Pharaoh and all his guards are right behind them, and Pharaoh wants to like kill them and everything. And so even though all these voices are telling Moses that he's going the wrong way, no, you shouldn't go this way, no, the Pharaoh's right behind us, they're going to kill us, like we shouldn't have done this, we have to turn back, we have to just go back and tell Pharaoh we're sorry so we can like keep working with him or something so he doesn't kill us, all that stuff. Moses didn't listen to that. Moses listened to God, trusted in God, and he stayed there because God wanted them to stay there. He stayed there, and then after that, where is it? Okay, so right here, chapter 14, then the Lord would have been, okay, this is what Moses said to the people first. Moses answered the people, do not be afraid, stand firm, and you'll see the deliverance. You'll see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. See that? And then Moses said that to the people, and then the Lord said to Moses, why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians so that they will go in after them, and I will gain glory through Pharaoh and all his army, through his chariots and his horsemen. The Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I gain glory through Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. And then throughout the rest of that night, Moses stretches his hands out over the sea, and a strong east wind comes in and turned it into dry land, and the waters were divided. And then after that, they were able to walk through. And then when the Pharaoh people followed them, God brought the waters back, and then they died. But the main point there is that already the story with in Exodus, Moses sorry, it's allergies. Moses was already like, in the beginning, Moses was like the Israelites. He didn't really fully trust in God. So like when he was saw God in the burning bush and everything, God was calling him to go free the Israelites, and Moses is like, God, I have a stutter. I won't be able to talk to all these people. Like, I don't think I'll be able to do any of this and all that stuff. And then God just kept telling him that just go, you'll be able to do it. And then he said, you also have your brother Aaron, you'll speak through Aaron, and then after that you guys can work together because Aaron doesn't have a stutter. And so basically it's just that God And Moses built that connection with God, and he trusted God to the point that he was able to do great works like that. You know what I'm saying? He automatically, God didn't say to Moses, "You're gonna part the Red Sea." No, he didn't say any of that. He didn't tell Moses the entire plan. He just told Moses that you're gonna free the Israelites, and then after that, Moses just had to trust God along the way. God didn't give him the detailed plan of exactly what you're gonna do. This will happen. This will happen. This will happen. This will happen, and then you're gonna part the Red Sea. No, he didn't say all of that stuff. He just said, "Go. You're gonna free the Israelites," and he said, "Go and do this." And then after that, Moses just followed him. He basically just followed exactly what God was saying. Like, he didn't think about, "Oh God, should I do this instead?" No, he followed God, and then he was able to free the Israelites and everything. The last example I'll say is in 1 Samuel chapter 1. This was Hannah. Her womb was let me get the page real quick. 145. So Hannah's womb was closed and everything, and for years, Hannah is the mother of Samuel, by the way, just to clarify. Her womb was closed, and she wasn't, for years, she just couldn't have a baby and everything, and she was always like, what was it? Like, not people, but like the other woman would like. Sorry, wait 1 second. Double appreciate town sacrifice really. Yeah, so the other woman would just make Hannah feel bad about it because she didn't have a baby and everything. So then one day, after their meal, it says, "In her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly, and she made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head." And so then, and so basically, she just couldn't have a baby because the womb was closed. And then she prayed to God in her deep anguish, asking God to give her a baby and everything, and her making a vow saying that she'll give, like, that she'll give her son to him for the rest of his life and everything. And so basically, everything in the natural, all her circumstances for years, she had no baby, she couldn't get pregnant and everything, and all the women around her were getting kids and having like families and everything, and she's had families. It's like she wanted to have kids and everything. That was the main point. And so then she just prayed and asked God for this and everything, and even though like her circumstances dictated that it wasn't possible, she still trusted in him and not what her circumstances were telling her. And then she had the baby. I didn't read that part. But then after that, later on, they early the next morning they arose and worshipped before the Lord, and then went back to their home at Ramah. Elkanah made love to his wife Hannah, and the Lord remembered her. So in the course of time, Hannah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, saying, "Because I asked the Lord for him." And that was just a nice moment. I remember reading that and everything. It was so nice that she finally got the baby because she trusted in him, and he remembered her. The Lord remembered her and gave her the baby. It's just like so sweet to think about. But yeah, so in large part, this is important because in this world, we're always like busy and getting all this work done, and like, you know, it's always like this. There's always like something else on the plate, you know what I'm saying? And so I personally can like attest to that because I'm always like, you know, I'm always on the grind and everything. Basically with school and then church stuff and then music stuff and literally everything. It's just like there's always stuff that you're gonna like have to do, right? And so at a certain point, it comes to like us doing all this stuff. It's like it makes us feel good because, you know, it's like having like a sense of like control over our lives, like saying like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at this time in the morning so then I can start working on this essay, then I'm gonna go to the gym, and then I'm gonna do this and that and this and that and that. You know what I'm saying? See, like you build the whole schedule and everything, and it feels nice, you know, because you like, you know, you have like a steady lifestyle, you have control of everything. But then there's always things that we're gonna like not be able to control. Like say, I have an example here. Say you're like driving right down the road, and then your car breaks down, right? You couldn't control your car breaking down. Well, in a sense, but in a way, you couldn't control the car breaking down, and so the car is just there and everything. And you know how in that moment, obviously there's a bunch of things that you can do to be able to get out of that, but like you couldn't control the car breaking down. And so what you need to do is just like first pray to God and ask him to help you while you're like there in the broken down car and everything. And then after that, you know, call AAA, do all that stuff. But that's just like, you see, it's an example of like things in our life that just like, it just happens, you know? You can't control it, but it just happens. And see, that's the problem, because fully trusting in God is to like, even when something unexpected happens, to be able to still trust in him and know that his plan is right and that he'll bring you to where you need to go, because he's ultimately the waymaker. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he is the only one who can make your path straight, you know, because he knows the plan from the beginning to the end. And so trusting in him is just like, you know, he literally created everything. He created the whole universe. So like, you gotta be able to trust in him so you can, you know, in large part start to build that relationship with him. Because like, if you can't like fully trust someone, like how can you like fully, you know, have a relationship with them, you know? It's like, say like you have like, say you have a dog, right? And actually no, let me not use that. Say you're like, you have a friend and everything, and basically, right, you guys are like hanging out all the time, you do all this fun stuff, but then you don't fully trust them. I mean, if you don't fully trust them, you're not going to be comfortable around them. You're not going to really want to hang out with them, because you never like really know what they're going to do, because you know you don't trust them. You know, you're not going to hang out with a person you don't trust, because you know that's just, it doesn't feel right. And so basically that's with God. You need to be able to trust him so you can build and grow that relationship with him. And once you're able to build and grow that relationship with him, you're going to be able to realize, you're going to be able to accomplish things that you weren't able to do. And you're also going to be able to realize that he wants what's best for you, and that he literally has control over everything. So we wouldn't need to worry about anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there wouldn't be really any worries, because we know he's in control. It's just like, it's like, say you're like in a market, right? You're like, you're in a supermarket, and you're like with your, like when you're little and you're with your parent, and say it's like, let's just say your mom, and it's you and your mom, right? And you guys are in your market, in the market, and you guys are like pushing the cart and everything, and you take like the Twinkies and a bunch of other candies and cookies, and you just put them, I don't know why I say Twinkies, I never eat Twinkies, but you take all that stuff and you put it into the cart and everything, and then your mom is like, no, you're not gonna take that with us. We're not buying that stuff, because that's just unhealthy for you. Your mom is gonna take like the vegetables, the carrots, the onions. She's gonna take everything that you need and put it in that cart. Now you gotta think about that like with God. God is gonna take everything that you need and have it there for you. You're not gonna need to worry about anything, because just like how your mom knows what's best for you, not to eat a bunch of junk food all the time, she'll put all the stuff you need to eat. God knows what's best for you in that, in like everything. So you wouldn't need to worry about, oh, should I do this or should I do that? Instead, you go up to God and you ask God, what decision should I make in this moment? Because you know my path, and you know what's right for me, and you know what's best for me. And then he'll tell you what decision to do, and then you'll already be able to do it. And then it'll turn out better than you expected, because you trusted in him. Because like if you try to do things your own way, it's not gonna like work out fully, because we can only do so much, and we only know so many things. But God can do literally everything, and he knows everything. So it's better like to be able to come to him in all times, not only when we're distressed, is like important, as I said, to build that and strengthen that relationship with him and everything. It's just all a matter of going to him first, and so that you can build that trust up and fully rely on him. I wrote that. Let me see what else I say. What else do I want to talk about? Basically, Wow, I already said a lot of this. Um, wow. Oh, okay. Well, dang. Yeah, just basically that God is just the like literally he's the creator of the universe, and he just wants to have a relationship with you. And his hand is basically is just reaching out for you. So all you have to do is just grab it, and say like, I want to start this relationship with you, and I want to start this journey and walk of faith, and you know love you, Lord, and spend the rest of my life with you, basically. Because when we all die and go to heaven, it's not going to be like, oh, did you accomplish this, or did you accomplish that, or did you get all this money or that money, or did you marry this person? It's like literally none of that is going to matter. It's just like, and then they just like, what did you do to forward his kingdom? Do you have a relationship with him? Just that's what's going to matter at the end. So it's important to be able to do as much as you can now to like have more people really see God and see his love and see who he really is, so that that we all can go up there in heaven and be able to have a party every day praising the Lord, have our own houses. It's actually gonna be so sick, bro. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's just like the main thing. I was gonna say one other thing. What was it? Oh wait, trial and testing. Yeah, I was gonna. I don't know if I should. I'll say like in my personal experience, I feel like that was like trusting in God fully has been a hard thing for me. This is my favorite verse in the Bible. It's still like it's still hard for me, like a lot of the times, because like there's just like so much that I want to like accomplish or do, but like if it's not like you know in God's plan for me to do, it's just like I shouldn't be doing it because it's not going to produce any fruit at all. It's like just really being able to like sit down and hear God's voice is like, I don't know, I feel like that's very important, and that's something I've actually been learning and everything how to do. And I've actually like this is a big part of it, like doing this right now and everything. It was just like, I don't know, like a month ago I was like, God, I feel like my I'm not being tested enough, can you put me through a trial? And so then little did I know, when you ask God for something, he actually gives it to you. So he in the midst of the trial, it's just like, obviously it's hard because going through something is always hard, but I feel like throughout this time I've really been, I don't know, thinking more about like how much my relationship with God is, like how much I truly trust in him and everything, based on like how I am and everything. And I don't know, I've just been learning that I need to do it more, and it wasn't as much as I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? So then I'm started doing this. It just came into my head, and it's honestly, I think it's fun, but basically I'm trusting in him right now with this, and not this, but in doing this, because like personally for me, like I read this like entire book, you know what I'm saying? But it took a couple of years. It wasn't like a day. I like took like I think 3 years, and I read the entire book, and then I finished it, and I was like, wait, I don't know anything. I don't remember. Well, I've remembered stuff, but like I don't remember like a lot. So then I came back to it, and I was like, okay, this time I'm gonna read it again, and I'm gonna study it, just like put that school mentality that I have with school, I'm gonna put it with the Bible. And then I started like taking notes, and I don't know if you can see it. I started taking notes and stuff like that and everything, and so I learned a lot about that. And I don't know, it's just helping because like I'm able to like from reading this, like I've been able to like understand and like discern what is God's voice and what isn't God's voice. Oh my gosh, that's like a whole another video. I don't want to talk about that right now. But from that, I just been able to like understand that and be able to be able to really hear what he's telling me to do and like actually do it, and yeah, a big part of that is like understanding his word, like understanding his voice, like um but yeah, main point, read your Bible so you can understand him and be able to trust in him more and understand his voice, and great things will be able to happen. You may even part the Red Sea one day, just like Moses did. But yeah, let me just make sure that's all I want to say. Yeah, and this was for something else. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Oh, that was cool. This is the first time I do this. Okay, that's all I wanted to say and talk about. And yeah, the main point is just trust in God. And honestly, he'll be able to like help you do amazing things. You're going to be able to go through so many things easier. You're going to be able to have peace in times of like pain and trouble, because God has got your back and all you need to do is just trust in him, and everything will be fine. Because it's like there's low-key like a peace in knowing that like how I was talking about earlier, like control of your life. There's like peace in knowing that someone does have control. Like, no, he doesn't have control. There's peace in knowing that you don't have to have control in your life, because God has got your back, and he wants what's best for you. So like you don't need to like stress over so many things or be worried about so many things, because like God like has got your back and everything. He's going to be able to help you. At least that's for me. Like when I really like started to like really started to like trust more in him and not on the outcomes of what I could produce, I felt more peace, and I was stressing less, because like he's got me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to worry. It's like when you're on a roller, at least when I'm on a roller coaster and I'm going up and down, like doing all these crazy stuff, I'm never scared, because I'm like, this thing's got me. So I'm not really scared at all. I'm not even scared at all. I'm keeping it a buck. But if now I apply that same thing with God and everything, and especially in this time of this trial, like trusting in God is like, that's what's been like, what I'm saying, bro? That's what's been like getting me through it and everything. It's just really good to be able to like do that. I was gonna say something, but yeah, he's got your back, and so trusting him is like the best thing to do and everything. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I don't remember, but yeah, just being able to trust in him and his word, and just know he's got you, because he's the great God. But yeah, it's basically what I wanted to talk about in this YouTube video. Just, that sounds so cringe saying YouTube video. That's basically what I want to talk about. And I pray that you guys got a lot from this and everything. And this isn't like the only one I'm gonna do. I'm still like thinking on the plans and everything. But the rough plan I have, given just want to say I'm a college student. I'm in college. I'm a computer science major. So I just want to make sure that's like clear, if like I don't, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so things might get busy and everything, but I don't know. Another big thing is like consistency, and I'm pretty good at being consistent, so I know for sure I'm going to be able to continue doing this, but just like knowing exactly what dates I'm going to be doing it right now is like kind of up in the air. But what I'm planning on doing is like every Tuesday I put a video. When I film it, I'm not too sure about that. Today's Tuesday, by the way. I'm filming this today on Tuesday, May 6th. But I just, yeah, I think I might do it every Tuesday. I'm not sure yet. Just sometime, it's going to be weekly. I know that for sure. And I might do other things too. Like I said, music. I'm a musician, guys. So I could play a couple stuff, do a little some calm. But yeah. But the main thing is just to be able to share God's word and everything. That's why I'm doing all this. And I don't know, I recognized in myself that I needed to do more. Like I felt like I wasn't doing that. Like sure, I was reading my Bible every day and writing my journal and all that stuff and going to church and serving, but I felt like I needed to do more. Like I wanted to do more. Like I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And so then I became a youth. I'm becoming a youth leader right now for this thing at my church and everything. And so yeah, and I just want to also do this to, do something. I might do Instagram too. I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to like do anything like media wise except hold the camera. So I don't know. Like even just setting this camera up took like 10 years and everything, but I'll figure it out. But so far, it's gonna be like a base comp video, just like this. Gonna cut the beginning part where I, was starting and like, and then like the end part where I'm gonna end, and then yeah, just. Sorry, I'm saying too much about that, but just know I got that. Anyway, I just wanted to pray us out, and yeah. So, dear God, thank you today for having us here and doing this video and everything. It was actually kind of fun. I actually liked it, and I pray that I'm going to be able to continue doing it, Lord. I pray that what I said today helped people in any way, and that people are going to be able to like learn more about you and everything. Lord, I just thank you for being so good and just, I don't know, putting us in things to make us trust you more, like this trial. And honestly, I'm glad it happened, Lord, because I needed to grow more, and I'm glad it's happening. So, Lord, I just pray that you're able to do all things and work all things like you're always able to do. And thank you for being such a good God. Amen. Okay, thank you guys. I'm not gonna say like, subscribe, comment, because that's like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say all that. This is not my YouTube channel, this is God's YouTube channel, bro. So if you want to like, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. But I always want to say this though. If you have comments and you want to like ask me stuff, like I want to, like I saw other YouTube videos, they have like videos where they answer comments. So obviously I don't think now it's gonna happen, but like if there's like any like things you want to ask me and everything, like about my life and like my journey and stuff like that, or just anything really, like I'll try to answer the comments. I'm not, well, this is so weird, I've never done this before, but like yeah, just yeah, like that. And we can like pray for each other too. If you ever need prayer for stuff, I'll like pray for you guys. And just yeah, just let's walk this faith together. But yeah, amen, and thank you guys for watching.